So thanks everybody for coming along and being up here today. Really nice to see you all. And today, or this afternoon, I'm going to be talking about the Trecena of Imox. And it's all about the new dream. Today, on this day, 13 Arpu, it's like we're finishing off a cycle of creation. We're finishing off a cycle of evolution. We're coming to the end point. We're going to the source on this day. And then tomorrow, we get to start our creation all over again. We get to choose what it is that we want to dream into existence. And tomorrow is all about potential. What potential do we have to dream in? We get to choose right from the very beginning of things. The seed of a new dream to come in. The seed of something totally new, maybe totally unknown, that you're going to bring into existence over the next 260 days. So, I think it's quite a big day myself. You know, as I say, it's kind of like there's a certain element of reinvention. There's a certain element of like, right, okay, part of it is over, part of it is done, and now it's time to bring something new in. To bring that new dream in. And what can the dream be? Well, it's a dream, so it can be anything that you want it to be. This is a really important time to be looking at your dreams, looking at your creativity. What have you always dreamt of doing? What have you always dreamt of being? What have you always dreamt of creating? Well, this is the possibility to sow the seeds for that dream. So we're going to begin the Trecena on the day 1 Imox. And 1 Imox is literally, we have the 1, which is the seed, which is the new potential. And Imox, which is the dream. It's a great day to maybe take yourself off beside the water, beside the ocean, beside the lake, to sit, to meditate, to think, to journal, whatever it is, and see what comes through to you from the lake, from the spirit. It's a great day just to take some time out of the media, out of social media, just to disconnect yourself from the consciousness that's around you, so that you can connect into what is your dream. It's a great day to begin that process, to think about what new dream you might want to bring in. Okay? And then from that we're going to go into 2 Ich. So Ich, the wind which is showing itself very strongly today. And Ich is all about communication, it's the breath. If Imox is the egg, then Ich is the sperm. It comes along. It's a dynamic principle that gives the dream direction. It brings it into movement. It's also a day of communication, so it's a good day to have communication, maybe even choices about what direction to take that dream in. The wind, it brings change into our lives. And as we bring in the new dream, we might have to make a choice about which direction we're going to go into with it. 2 Ich might bring that choice into a very stark kind of like, you know, black and white way of looking at it. Am I going this way or that way? Yeah, Ich's showing itself rather strongly right now, right? So this is something to have a think about on the Ich day, and how you're going to communicate it, how you're going to work with it, how you're going to choose it. From 2 Ich, we're then going to go into 3 Akabal. Now, Akabal, in one way we can see it as being a conception. Akabal is the twilight, it's the time before the sunrise and after the sunset, when there's still some light in the sky. It's not properly dark or it's not properly light, but there's no sun in the sky. So it's the in-between world. And in one way we very much see it as being conception. And the number 3 represents the home place. Now, one way that the number 3 is seen, or what it relates to, is the constellation of Orion, or rather 3 hearthstones within Orion. And it represents The Orion Nebula, which is said to be the birthplace of our sun. It's the home place, the place of emergence. And so imagine something which is powerful enough to birth the sun. This is the new concept, the energy that's behind that, and this is within you. So it's like looking within you for this new concept that brings the dream into the world. So again, 3 Aqabal might be a good day of retreat, a good day to spend in your home, understanding how you're going to turn that dream into a new concept and bring that into the world, what you're going to pass on. From 3 Aqabal, which, as I said, can be this kind of like this conceptual day and this kind of thing, we're going into something which is a lot more solid, which is 4 Cat. And 4 Cat, we have Cat, which is about bringing things together, and the 4, which is in the physical realm. It's the solid, it's the 4 directions, the 4 cardinal points. It's the movement of the sun. Sunrise, midday, sunset, midnight. So it very much represents the physical world. So 4 Cat could be a great day to fill your net with what it is that you need to bring this new dream in. Or maybe you're just, I mean, it should be certainly a physical day, but maybe it's a day where you kind of like, you work out what it is that you need to get together. Okay, you have this resource, you have that resource, but what resources do you need in order to empower that new dream, in order to bring it into the world? We can also see it very much as being this kind of like searching through our net, because maybe there's also some stuff that you can let go of, that you don't need to be attached to anymore. 4 Cat is a great day to be going through literally your physical possessions, as it were. To have a good sort out around your house. Those old clothes that you don't wear anymore, maybe time to take them to the charity store or something like that. To make some space in your net, so that the new resources for this new dream can come in. From 4 Cat, we're going to go into 5 Can. So Can is the Nawal of the serpent. It's the Nawal of the life force energy. It's the Nawal of power and wisdom. And so 5 is all about work. It's about putting your intention, putting your energy into things. And so 5 Can is really suggesting about putting our energy into empowerment, putting our energy into bringing out the wisdom, maybe empowering our dream. Now, the Can energy is our life force, so it's really kind of like putting we might sort of like express it as putting our heart and soul into what our new dream might be. But one of the other ways that I see Can, when we talk about it being the body lightning, it's like the spark of life that comes. And so putting your energy, your ki, your chi, your kundalini energy, or however you might see it, into that dream. We got it, we've dreamt it, we've activated it, we've conceived it, we've gathered our resources, and now we're putting that spark into it that brings it to life. From 5 Can, we're then going into 6 Kamei. So Kamei is the Nawal of spiritual transformation, is the Nawal of death. Kamei is about going in some ways on another rung up the ladder by facing our fears. And as we go into a new dream, often we're going to confront our fears. Are we good enough? Have we got the material that we need in order to do that? Have we got the support around us that we need in order to go forward? How are we going to conquer these fears? Now, Kamei also has an attachment to the ancestors, because it's the ancestors who are in the other world. And the number 6 can represent stability. It can represent drawing on heaven and earth and manifesting them into the physical plane. That's for sure. But it also represents family. And so it may be drawing on your family lineage to understand how to bring this new dream in. Maybe your grandparents or your ancestors had some idea, knowledge, or skills that can help you to bring that dream into existence, to help you to stabilize it. From 6 Kamei, we're then going to go into 7 Kiach. So Kech is the deer, it's the wilderness. It's all about the mountains and the trees and the natural world. Kech helps us to bring strength to what we're doing. Kech helps us to understand what we're doing through the spirit of nature, through the force of nature. And sometimes Kech can be very strong, can be a very powerful and dominant Nawal to carry. And here we see it coupled with the number 7. And the number 7 is like the halfway point through the Trecena. It's like the top of the pyramid. So I always get this vision when I see 7 Kech about this deer standing on top of the mountain. When we're on top of the mountain, we get to see all the choices which have been laid out in front of us. So it's kind of like we could see 7 Kech as presenting us with many choices. Now, how are we going to decide which choice, which decision to make? Well, Kech would say to go into nature. So which way do we want to take our dream? Which way do we want to develop our dream? Well, if we're confused about it, if we're not entirely sure which way we might want to go, 7 Kech gives us the opportunity to take a walk in nature, to go out into the forest, into the mountains, into the trees, and to get our inspiration, to get our messages, our understanding from the natural world. Because the natural world will always show us kind of like what's the natural way to develop that dream. And so it's like if you're looking for a little bit of guidance on 7 Kech, then taking a walk up in the mountains, taking a walk in the trees is something that can help you to understand where to, how to decide, where to make a decision. From 7 Kech, we then go into 8 Anil. So Anil is all about ripening. It's about yellowing. It's about how do we bring things to their fruition. It's also a wonderful day of what I would say thanksgiving. Okay? Anil is about the ripening of the maize, the yellowing of the maize. And where we are today, we're bringing something to its ripeness, we're bringing something to its end on this 13 Achpu day. We're taking something to its final point. 8 Anil gives us the opportunity to give thanks for what we've received. Anil, when we've been looking after our crops for the time it's taken them to grow, we've taken our harvest. 8 Anil is about giving, is about making thanks for that. Making ceremony to give thanks for our harvest, making ceremony to give thanks for our abundance. It's about joining together the old and the new, the 1 and the 7 coming together as the 8. It could be a great day to be planting what you want to harvest. Planting what you want in your garden. Planting your new seeds. It's a great day to be fertilizing. And so here we see it again in this time of 1 Imox, in this time of the new dream. We have 8 Anil sitting in the middle saying, here is a day where we can put our energy, make our ceremony to ask for the blessings of ripeness and abundance on the new dream that we want to bring in. I always see it as this kind of like this golden light that sort of transforms things to their ripeness. And it's like, right, okay, what do we want to ripen? Well, we want to ripen this new dream that we're planting on 1 Imox, right? And so it's okay, we ask for the blessing on that day and we give thanks for what we've just received on that day. From 8 Anil, we're then going to go into 9 Toch. So Toch, the Nawal of payment, the Nawal of sacrifice, the Nawal of service. And here we see it with the number 9. The number 9 representing the feminine, the number 9 also representing life itself. So 9 Toch is a great day to be in service to life. It's a great day to be looking after the women of our community in particular, acting in service towards them. So Toch, yes, we can see it as the sacred fire. Yes, we can see it as service, but what is service? Service is using some of the energy that we've received, giving something back, taking some time out of our day to do something to support whatever the number is showing us. So that, like in this case, it's about the support of the women. Okay, so 9 toch, if there's any kind of like, if you feel like you want to be giving towards a charity, a toch day is a great day to be making a donation, that kind of thing. And I'll post on my site some of the addresses that you can help people here in Guatemala through. But also, like, if you feel that you want to go and do some community service, then 9 toch is a great day to be going and doing it. Because it's also something which might help you to bring that dream in. Maybe you're going to meet somebody when you go and do that service that is going to help you to develop that dream. From 9 toch, we're then going into 10 tzi. So tzi, the nawal of justice, the nawal of law. Tzi, the nawal of guidance, the nawal of unconditional love. And here we see it with the number 10 representing this. It's 2 hands coming together in agreement. It can represent society, it can represent community. It's those things that we see. So this is like the unconditional love for the community. It's guidance within society. It's also understanding the laws of society, bringing social justice. That's a great theme for the 10 tzi day. Coming together to make things right. Tzi is our faithful, loyal and loving companion on the road. And sometimes they might get led astray once in a while. But really tzi is about guiding each other. And here it's sort of like we see it with the 2 hands, the like cooperation between each other, helping to guide each other towards things which are in harmony with the natural laws of society, the things which help to propagate our new dream. And so 10 tzi is a great day to be getting together with your neighbours, to be getting together with your friends, with your community, to really put things in their rightful place, to make sure that our society is kind of like in alignment with the natural laws, but also to be doing it with the spirit of unconditional love. From 10 tzi, we then go into 11 bats. Okay, so bats is all about creativity. Bats is about weaving. Here we are in this time of the new dream. How are we going to weave it? What are we going to weave? Well, that's up to us. 11 bats would suggest that we might look in many different directions to find what we're going to weave, because bats means thread, okay, and it's the threads with which we're going to weave this beautiful creation, with which we're going to weave our dream into reality. And the 11, well, that's kind of going a bit all over the place. We don't know exactly where it's going to begin, where it's going to end, where it's going to go next, but that's the beauty of it. That's why it can be extremely creative, because it's not following the same old routine, following the same pattern. So 11 days, sometimes you might find them, they might be a little bit chaotic in nature, because they're going to take you off the beaten track. But that's where you find the thread which helps you to weave this new dream. So like 11 days aren't always the best days to be having a very, very tight schedule. You need to kind of like allow for a little bit of wiggle room in there so that you can follow your intuition, to take yourself to go and find that colour of thread that you never found before, that can help you to weave that new dream in. From 11 bats, we're then going to go into 12 So the life path, the journey. Is the road. It's exploration. It's also like days are the great days for taking a journey if you need to, for setting out on your journey. They're great days of exploration. And here we see it combined with the number 12. So the number 12 can be about bringing together all of your life experience, bundling it into one place. And so when we see that with this is about using your life experience to plan your journey. This is kind of interesting, because we've gone from the 11 bats where it's like, leave time to to follow the unusual path or something, into 12 where we're like, right, okay, we're going to use our experience to say, okay, now we need to go this way. We're going to be looking for, like, if we see 12 bringing together all life experiences and representing experience itself, it's kind of like, okay, what experience do we need to draw on in order to bring this new dream, the one Imosh, into existence? And how can we set our course? How can we plan our journey based on our past experience? And so it's, again, looking at that, say, right, okay, I know about that, I know about that, I know about that. Oh, okay, now that takes us in that direction. And then finally, we end up in 13 Ach. So Ach, representing the home, representing the spinal column, representing the staff of life, representing harmony within our community. And so we see all of this represented by Ach. And here we have it with the number 13. And the number 13 representing spirit, representing our connection to the spirit world and representing the ancestors. 13 Ach is a very strong number with what I consider to be a gentle but authoritative Nawal. It's about creating harmony in our society. It's about standing up for what is right. And the number 13 would suggest that you have the power of the ancestors behind you to do so. So it's kind of like the power of the ancestors empowering your spinal column to stand up straight and tall and know exactly what to do, in which way to proceed, so that you can bring harmony to society and home and community. So you might feel an extra sort of sense of bravery to stand up for the right thing on that day, because you know what is right, and this is going to be something which helps you to bring that dream into the world, because it's got to be the right dream for the community as well. And here on 13 Ach, you may well find that the ancestors or spirit communicate with you to help you to understand how to bring harmony through that. Okay? So that's the Trecena of Imosh. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you again in 13 days' time for the Trecena of Ish. Thank you.